Hello, everyone. Racer Joe. I know it's been a minute. As the kids say, I'm not sure that the kids say that anymore or not, but it has been a minute. Back to do a tag for my buddy Darryl. Darryl of the Northern Vinyl Guy, and I'll put, the link where links go, as I always do, and as everybody does, and I'm not sure why we say that, because we all know where to look when we go to look for links, but anyway, I digress. He has a thread going, a tag for 2026, the Canadian Stereotype tag. So this is going to be that. It is based off of a rant from a commercial that was a number of years ago, and then he has come up with some questions that we're going to have to take care of with some albums. I keep pointing to where the questions are, where the albums are, you get the gist. You know what these are like. So I am going to actually attempt to, and then hopefully it isn't going to get taken down. I'm going to give you the little bit of the clip. I'm going to edit that in from the commercial. See if I get away with that. Not sure. Should be able to. It's just promotion for them, but we'll see if that works out or not. Then I will give you the question that Darryl is looking for. Then I will give you my answer. And then we'll repeat that all over again until we get to the end. And hopefully this won't be an hour long. So let's get going without further ado. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you, this is the first clip. I'm not going to tell you every time there's going to be a clip. So I'm going to do a clip, then I'm going to do the question, then I'm going to do the answer, then I'm going to do the question, and then the answer, and I'll fill them in between. And it all should work out, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, so let's start. Here's the first clip.
Hey, I'm not a lumberjack or a fur trader, and I don't live in any...
All right, so Darryl's question, based on that first clip, or what he has asked us to do, is show a folk music or pioneer music album. The list will be down below where lists go as well. So I'm going to start off with a good Saskatchewan kid. His name is Coulter Wall. Having a dart on the cover there. He's got his cowboy hat on, but very good album. A young guy out of Saskatchewan, mostly Swift Current, Saskatchewan, I guess, is hometown, I would say safely, but really, really good. Seek him out. Very good roots, country rock-ish, a little bit folk for sure. Some of the songs on here, Kate McCannon, very good song. Me and Big Dave, you know that is going to be something, right? Snake Mountain Blues with some kid named Steve Earle on it. So there you go. Coulter Wall is my answer to show a folk music or pioneer music album.
Now, I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled.
Okay, and Darryl's question, based off that clip, is show an album or song associated with the cold. I'd like to say I can do this all with bands from Saskatchewan. Just the first two are going to fall into that category, I think. No, there's going to be some more, but I couldn't do the whole thing from Saskatchewan. I am going to do the whole thing Canadian, though. So my answer to that is the Northern Pikes and Snow in June. A much sought after album. I get a regular notification on Discogs. Hey, are you selling that album? No, I am not. This is not a very good copy, but it is my copy. You can see it had some tape up on the top there, but Dream Away, Kiss Me You Fool, She Ain't Pretty's on here, Girl with a Problem, really, really good album, really needs a Record Store Day Canada reissue, so somebody get on that. All right, so my answer to question number 2, Snow in June. I don't think we've gotten it for a while, but it's happened. There you go.
Sled. And I don't know Jimmy, Sally, or Suzie from Canada, although I'm certain they're really, really nice.
Okay, next is the question based off the clip you just watched. Show an album by the band or artist named Jimmy, Sally, or Suzie, or Tom, Dick, Harry, or Joe. And yes, I am Joe, and I am Canadian. But so is Joe Shithead, otherwise known as Joe Keithley, from the punk band out of Canada, DOA. This is Northern Avenger. This is a fantastic album. It's got the second best hockey song in Canada after Stompin' Tom's hockey song called Donnybrook's on here. Really, really good. Good, decent punk out of Canada. There you go. DOA is my answer to an artist named Jimmy, Sally, Suzie, Tom, Dick, Harry, or Joe. It's Joe Shithead Keithley.
nice. I have a prime minister, not a president. I speak.
Okay, the question up next is show an album about a politician or that discusses a political cause. Yes, I'm looking down at the questions. I probably could have just done that, but you guys get the gist. Here is an artist that is basically political almost all the time. I think that's safe to say, and that is Bruce Cockburn. This happens to be the album Stealing Fire. But the two songs on here, well, the main one that is political is If I Had a Rocket Launcher. The other one is kind of Lovers in a Dangerous Time as well, but If I Had a Rocket Launcher. So Bruce Cockburn from the album Stealing Fire. There you go. That is your political song.
I speak English and French, not American.
Okay, up next is number 5, an album that has bilingual lyrics or is also sung fully in French. I kind of took care of both of them because on this Pagliaro album, Michel Pagliaro from Quebec, this is Pagliaro 1, there's a little of both on here, if I remember correctly. And if it's not on here, I digress, but he definitely sings French and Canadian. What the Hell I Got, big hit off of this one. What else is on here? Louise is on here. Cry Baby. I'm fairly certain that he does some of this in French and some of this in English. If he doesn't on this album, he certainly does. And I think maybe I should have just pulled the other album, which is the live album, which I 100% know that he does. But there you go. A bilingual artist for sure, and hopefully, possibly album. But also a very good album.
And I pronounce it about, not a boot.
Okay, next question based on the clip that you just saw is show an album with a boot or other form of footwear on the cover. What did I pick? Oh yes, of course I picked him. Of course I picked Stompin' Tom. Look at those boots. Those boots have stomped many a board. For those that don't know, and I'm sure others who show Stompin' Tom will explain it, folk singer, great Canadian performer, was around for forever, made a bunch of albums. You know him for the hockey song, but you know him for a bunch of other stuff. And on here, what is on here? The Snowmobile song. There you go. Name the Capital, Tilsonburg as well as on here. So some good stuff. But yeah, Stompin' Tom, when he would play, he would have a board on top of the stage and he would stomp his foot. And eventually he would give those boards away to people, as far as I understood, because they'd kind of be keepsakes or whatever. But there you go. There's some boots. And there's good old Stompin' Tom himself in his Stompin' Tom, My Stompin' Grounds.
I can proudly sew my country's flag on my backpack.
Okay, off of the last clip you just saw, an album cover that is predominantly red, white, or a combination of the two, or has a maple leaf on it. So I'm going to go with one that is red, which is this Rush album. Pretty darn good. And is it a twofer? I can't remember. Yeah, no, that one doesn't really show it that well. But hold your fire. Sometimes on the side it says lithoed in Canada, and there is a tiny little maple leaf also on there. That's not the case this time. But there you go, Rush. And hold your fire. There's the red. And I've also got the white part from Our Lady Peace. Great Canadian band. Let's see. This does not have the lithoed in Canada on the side either. I'll find one that does. I'll show you. It's not really going to show up anyway. But anyway, Our Lady Peace. There you go. Red and white. This is Our Lady Peace Greatest Hits. A shout out to Chris Mann, the Vinyl Man, and a Greatest Hits.
I believe in peacekeeping, not policing.
Okay, let's go with, next up, Darryl's question based on the clip that you just saw. A song either about peace, that promotes peace, or was played for a cause, example, Live Aid. And I am sticking with Canadian. And again, there's a couple out there, but while it's here, I'm just going to go with Our Lady Peace. There you go. Peace. Right? It's good stuff, too. Really good stuff. They have got a lot of songs. It's surprising, actually, when you pick up this Greatest Hits and you go, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. It's one of those. Okay, next clip.
Diversity, not assimilation. And that
All right, next clip. What do we got? Oh, a duo that are either biracial, multi-ethnic, or made up of members from multiple countries. This also may include duets and bands. So what I went with was the kids from Billy Talent. Because Ian Dawes, and I don't know that I'm pronouncing that correct, is of Goan descendancy. Let's see. Descendancy? That's not the right word. Descendant? He is, yeah, whatever. You guys know what I mean. But I did actually, I wrote it down. Not wrote it down. I phoned it down. I guess that's the equivalent of writing it down these days. Yeah, he is of Doan. Anyway, he was born in the suburb of Southall, Ealing, London. He is of Goan, Goan background. There you go. So, and then the other guys are just a bunch of Canadians, but so is he. He just has a little bit of other flavor as well. So Billy Talent, back to the first album. Man, this is a fantastic album, autographed as well, so kind of cool. Okay, next clip.
Assimilation, and that the beaver is a truly proud and noble animal. A toque is a...
So, where are we? A band, no, I did that one already. A song, title or lyrics, album cover, or band name with a notable or trustworthy animal on it. These may be real or mythical, is what Darryl was shooting for. This is a band that I just discovered in the last little while, right here from Regina, Saskatchewan. So when I said there was not going to be any more Saskatchewan bands, I lied. I'm a liar. I'm not really a liar. I was lying when I said that. Never mind. This is a band called Black Tea. You are going to hear about these guys, I would hope. I always qualify the fact that I say this is really, really good if this is your style of music. And the style, without getting into it too much, they compare themselves to the Black Crowes, so let's just compare them to the Black Crowes. Really good, three-piece out of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, another autographed one. But as you can see on the inside, some good Canadian kids got a big old moose going on there. And I think there's some beer steins as well. Those look like beer steins. Maybe not. But anyway, no, they're Baileys, and they are beverages. But anyhow, there you go. You get a moose. That's pretty majestic. That's pretty Canadian. That is very solidly Canadian. But check these guys out. Black Tea. And the album is called Now That You're Here, out of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada.
A toque is a hat. A Chesterfield is a coach. And it is...
All right, we are on number 11. An album cover with someone wearing on their head, with wearing an album cover, one more time, no edits, you know that from me. An album cover with someone wearing something on their head, that's a lot of some things, or sitting on a couch or a chair. Well, I'm sitting on a couch, so that kind of counts. But at the same time, how about we just go with some guys wearing toques? Yeah, Bob and Doug. This is the album, the soundtrack to the movie Strange Brew, and if you haven't seen it, you should. It's a classic. Maybe just a Canadian classic, but I think it's a classic as well. Like, look at the hockey players down below. They look like stormtroopers playing, and then there's the Elsinore beer. There's the, there's this part, which you'll enjoy. But this is really good. And of course, on their head, they are wearing toques. This is a toque. Yes, this is the word toque, but it is the band toque, and it is also a toque. Duh, crazy, huh? Anyway, there you go. Bob and Doug from Strange Brew, The Adventures of Bob and Doug Mackenzie. Take off a you-ho's head. There you go. Wearing something on their head.
Coach, and it is pronounced Zed, not Z-Z!
All right, I should be reading these up here, but it doesn't matter. You know what I look like. You don't need to see my face the whole time. Okay, show two albums in which the band name or artist's last name has a member in the band whose last name starts with the letter A and Z. Okay, I think I read that correctly. Basically, he wants an album with artists of A and artists of Z, or yeah, you'll figure it out. So my A is going to be The Age of Electric. This is the album Make a Pest a Pet from a long time ago. Another autographed one. Just happens to be. Wasn't the way I planned it to have a bunch of autographed ones in here. But it's a little easier with the Canadians to get some autographs. But Todd Kearns from the band Toque was also in Age of Electric. So A, Age of Electric. And the Z, the Z, the Z. It's Zed, dang it. Zon is the band, and Back Down to Earth, a little proggy, a little keyboardy, a little guitar-y from 1979. Saw them open for, I want to say Split Enz. I'm not positive of that. But Zon, Back Down to Earth. There you go. That might have been Walter's Wall on the Rage with Split Enz. Anyway, I digress. Okay, next clip.
Canada is the second largest landmass and the best part of North America!
All right, the question, based off of the clip that you just watched, is any song title or song lyric with a Canadian place name, Canadian geographic location, Canadian landform, so like, I guess, a mountain, I'm not sure, big-ass lake, could be a big-ass lake, or landform region, or famous Canadian landmark on it. So I went with the band Humphrey and the Dump Trucks, who are out of Saskatoon, and that's what this album is called, Saskatoon. Now, I live in Regina. There's Saskatoon. It's always backwards. Anyway, kind of folky country rock-ish. 70s band that was around in Saskatoon. I'm not sure if there is anything going on with Humphrey and the Dump Trucks anymore. But yeah, there you go. Band out of Saskatoon with the album called Saskatoon. And is there a song called Saskatoon on here? No, but there is Blackstrap Breakdown. So you'll know that if you live near Saskatoon or are familiar, because it is the small ski hill just a little bit east of Saskatoon. Does this have the lithote in Canada? It does, but not the one with the maple leaf. There you go. Humphrey and the Dump Trucks, Saskatoon. The answer to that question. Okay, we're getting close to the end here, aren't we? Yeah, we are. This is 14. So this is in response to the clip you just saw. An album cover or song that depicts any Canadian sports team name on it. Teams can be from any major sports league played in Canada, MLB, NHL, etc., 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 etc. Darryl goes through them all. You'll figure it out. You're pretty smart. I happen to go with the Canadian Football League, the league that I watch the most, the league that I have watched since I was a kid. Good old Canadian football. Leave our 55-yard line alone, you bastard. Some will get what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is the album from a few of the guys from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This is 800 Pounds of West Country Rock. This was put out, when was this? It says 1262, but that's P.O. Box 1262. It feels like it sometimes. But yeah, three guys from the album, three guys from the team, the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the day, decided, hey, let's do an album. What do we got on here? I should know these guys, but it is Tim Roth and Nolan Bailey and Clyde Brock. Those are the boys on the front there for 800 Pounds of West Country Rock. Buffalo Records. There you go.
My name is Joe, and I am Canadian.
Okay, 15. We got 2 to go. So, which leaves us 2 clips. Based on the last clip, show either the 24th album alphabetically in your collection, or an album or song about beer or whiskey. I can't remember what the clip is. I'm not watching the clips and then doing this. I'm going to edit them in later. So I can't remember exactly what the guy says in the commercial, but it's a beer commercial. So that's probably why. Maybe that's it. I don't know. We'll see if I even get away with the clips being in there. Hopefully, because if not, this is going to be kind of stupid. I'm still going to post it anyway. But, okay, so the answer to that is on this album by one of Canada's best, the Tragically Hip, there is a song called Little Bones. And one of the lyrics is $2.50 for a highball and $1.50 for a beer. So there you go. You get kind of whiskey, because a highball is a whiskey. So $2.50 for a highball, $1.50 for a beer. That is a while ago now. I don't know if you can get any beer for $1.50 anymore, or a $2 highball either. But there you go. Road Apples from the Tragically Hip. The song is Little Bones, and the answer is, my answer anyway, is $2.50 for a highball, whiskey, and $1.50 for a beer.
Thank you.
Okay, and on the last clip, basically Darryl was just looking for something polite and, or what did he exactly say? Apologetic, thankful, or a polite song, because us Canadian kids are polite, thankful, apologetic, sorry, take off, all that good stuff. We'll call you a hoser, but we call you a hoser from the heart. So I went with, and this might be, I don't think it's a stretch, because if you listen to the lyrics from one Mr. Gordon Lightfoot, another classic Canadian. If you listen to the song, oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out which song it was myself. If You Could Read My Mind, I think that will fall into that category. And if not, it's still Gordon Lightfoot. But let's see. I did write something down. I didn't write something down. I phoned something down. And at the end is, If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot. This song reflects on a failing relationship and the emotional distance within it. So I think that kind of fell into the apologetic part. But you can take it for what it's worth. Really, I just wanted to get some Gordon Lightfoot in there. Because there he is. Good old Gord. It took me a while to appreciate Gordon Lightfoot, and now I really, really do. So there you go, Darryl. There are my answers to your 16 questions. Some Canadian stereotypical things based on a commercial from a number of years ago, but a very, very well done. Somebody earned their money the day that they thought of that concept for that Canadian beer commercial. So we appreciate them for doing that. We all take a lot of pride in Canada. I know I certainly do. I know that Darryl does. I know that my buddy Rob certainly does as well, from Northern Revolutions. And the three of us have a show on Wednesday nights that you should watch. So tune in Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, for From the Basement. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay, again, I'll put the questions down below. I'll also put Darryl's link down below. And what the heck, I'll put Northern Revolutions down below as well, because then you can come and join us on Wednesday. So take off, Have a great day, and don't be a hoser.
Thank you.